Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for High Score Girl's 3 OVAs that appeared on Netflix, and I'm really kind of confused by this. Now, on one hand, I like them. They're awesome. But the thing is, they should have just been included. This ended at a much better spot than where it originally ended. If they needed more time, they should have just taken the time and been like, okay, here's the better end spot. Not just it because it ended on a cliffhanger. I mean, this last OVA ends on a nice cliffhanger as well. But it's not like in the middle of it, like uh, Hidaka confessing her love pretty much to Haruo. It has a better kind of conclusion. I'm like, oh, okay, we got through with everybody. We got a nice kind of tying up of that arc, still setting up for anything going on in the future. Because to me, I would rather wait patiently for something and let it be released when it's ready rather than have it rushed. Patience can sometimes be a fault of mine, but I'm like, listen, take your time and make it good. And these were pretty good, and I'm glad that we got them because it's also kind of getting us ready because they have announced that they're going to be doing a second season of this coming out in October of this year. So I'm like, yes, yes, yes. So the first OVA kind of deals with the inherent aftermath of the confession and Haruo talking to his friend about it, but then we kind of deal with Akira's tutor pretty much telling Haruo to stay the hell away from her and in her own kind of polite way. And of course his mom's backing him up and everything, and they let her borrow an umbrella and let her go on her way. And of course the driver for Akira has a portable game console in the car and letting her play during all those kind of things, all their drives and all that. But of course, the tutor finds out and pretty much relieves him of his chauffeuring duties. But before that takes into effect, he decides to take her out for a drive because she's feeling partially responsible for him not being able to do that. And he's like, well, it's like summer and this is probably one of the last times she's going to have any kind of fun. So he takes her to Haruo and they have a nice, pretty much a little date. And Haruo doesn't even really realize it. They go around, play games and everything, and he kind of realizes she's playing more carefully and everything and not being as kind of like aggressive. And they're playing games that she usually wouldn't really like to play in the arcades, and they just kind of have fun. And they also go to a little festival and everything, and she wins a Final Fantasy, and she gives it to him because she doesn't have a home console. And of course, he comes and picks her up and goes off on his way, and it's like, crap, that sucks. The second OVA deals with the rematch that Hidaka demanded at the end of the first season. And I really liked how this was done because depending upon how it was going to shake out, you thought that somebody was going to get really screwed over. Like, Hidaka is either going to get beaten, or Haruo is going to decide to take the L, and what kind of ramifications that'll happen. So we see that Haruo has been training up and everything, and we see Hidaka has been training up as well. She actually made friends with this one girl that has this arcade, and they go to it at night, and she's built up her skills and everything, and she's become a formidable opponent because we get into it, and they have a really good fight going on with all these different games, and you can see how good Hidaka has gotten, but also how good Haruo still is, and it sucks because Haruo wins at the end, but the thing is, you have to kind of figure out, are you going to treat her and pretty much make her show you the best that you've got? She really wouldn't accept it if you allowed her to beat you, kind of thing. And of course, she's crying and she's pissed off at him. But the thing is, even as he's beaten her, he can recognize the shadow of Akira there. And he's like, wow, she's gotten really kind of good. And the thing is, you feel for Hidaka, and it's like, damn. So we'll kind of have to see how that shakes out, because she pretty much gets pissed off, and it kind of bleeds over into the next OVA, because Haru runs into Akira's older sister, and she's kind of freer and everything, and not as burdened as Akira, and she's like, oh, dang it, you screwed me over on this, and she pretty much gets into play this kind of dating simulation game to understand girls' hearts, and of course Hidaka had come over to demand her PlayStation back, and of course it leads to the situation of Haru playing it while Hidaka, Akira's sister, and his mother are watching, and he doesn't end up with anybody at the end of the game, and they're like, oh, Jesus. So Hidaka allows him to keep kind of understand what's going on and playing the game, and also he starts making an RPG for Akira, because she's inside all the time, and he decides to use RPG Maker and make it for her. And it's really kind of cool because her sister brings it in and they play it in the chauffeur's, well, the old chauffeur's room, and he made that for her. It took him like 30 some days, and seeing her go through it and how much fun she had with it. But of course, the tutor comes in and takes it and throws it out, and I'm like, you don't understand. That's even worse than anything else you could have done. That's not just a game that somebody made. That was made for her. And, oh, it was horrible. I'm like, no. And then, of course, Akira is just, she just shuts down even more. And the tutor just really can't understand. She's like, oh God, I really kind of screwed up. Of course, the sister and the chauffeur dude are trying to get through to her and be like, listen, you really did something horrible here. You've got to try and loosen up on her and everything. Otherwise, she's going to break. She's going to get screwed. What's the point of trying to make her into this person that you're trying to do if she has no friends and she's just not well adjusted at all? You've created someone who'll just not give a crap about life at all. And she decides to go buy another console to replace the one that she threw out, and she gives it to Haru, and she sees him at work and doing all these things, and he pretty much says that he likes to support her and everything, and pretty much their rivalry and all that. And even the tutor understands that Haru loves her and all that, and she's like, all right, fine, okay, you're all right. And he's been talking up this kind of game developers conference for the arcades and all that, and at first he was going to go with his mom, but the tutor sends Akira back to their house with the umbrella and says that you can have the day off. So instead we have another cool date with Haru and Akira up there, and they get cool swag and everything, and they're playing all these games, and they just have a great time. Just even though she doesn't really speak that much, it's really kind of cool seeing them just doing their back and forth and everything. And you you do have a problem when you've got one character talking more and one character pretty much relying on facial expressions and just like non like just verbal kind of cues and everything, but just seeing her do her reactions, sometimes hitting him with what he's been doing or whatnot, and them going to get food and all that, which is really well done. And then they're of course going on the train and everything. He's like, yeah, I might not be seeing much of you, but of course, in one of the OVAs before this, he was talking about that with his mom. Like, hey, we've been apart before. We'll find each other again, kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, there you go. And she brings out the ring that he had given her all those years before, and she's still wearing it around her neck, and it's like fireworks are going off in the background. It's like, yeah, that's a pretty cool ending for that. And it just kind of leaves it off there as the train's going and the fireworks are going, and it's like, all right, that's a nice wrap up for all the arcs and everything, and just setting up for what else is going to be going later on in the next season. So I'm like, yes, yes, that's a better. This wrapped up everything a little bit better and got not complete resolution, but at least resolution to the certain arcs that have been laid down and brought forth. So hopefully we'll get some cool payoffs with that. We still don't know if Hidaka will actually honor what she said in that ultimatum. we don't know where the world will take Akira and how Haruo is going to try and stay in touch with her and everything. So there's a lot of big things that could happen because we don't know. And I'm just glad we got these 3 OVAs to actually finish out this season and better lead us off into the next season that we'll get in October. So those are my opinions on the OVAs. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked them, if you didn't like them, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.